I'd like to thank God for giving me the strength to talk about a subject that most of you all heard about, but rarely spoke about. Today, if you pick up your brochure, for a minute, just disregard my background, because I'm coming totally different today. Today, I'm not coming to you as a retired lieutenant from the Department of Justice working with the Federal Bureau of Prison. Today, I'm not coming to you as a weightlifter. Today, I'm not coming to you as a father of three. Today, I'm not coming to you as the author of 4 books. But today, I am coming to you as a man who suffered from mental illness and been suffering from mental illness from the age of 6. Most of the time when you think about mental illness, most people think about someone walking around in a straitjacket. Most of the time you think about mental illness, you think about people walking around lethargic after being medicated, heavily medicated, after being administered powerful medication. Most of you all think about, when you talk about mental illness, is going to a doctor's office and laying on someone's couch and just talking. Although that is true, but in the majority of the cases, it's not. And the reason we talk about it, the reason we think like this is because of what we see that's portrayed on TV. The label that has been put on people who are suffering from mental illness is a little bit over the top. And eventually, instead of getting help because of the label, we bottle everything up on the inside without telling anyone. Now allow me to talk about the mental illness I have been diagnosed with. I suffer from depression. And I know Ms. Ross talked about depression. I think she talked about bipolar. But let me talk about it the way I can talk about it. Okay, the definition is it's a mood disorder causing a persistent feeling of sadness, a loss of interest. It's also a chemical imbalance in the brain, meaning not enough serotonin on one side of the brain. I also been suffering from bipolar. And let me give you the definition of bipolar. A mental disorder marked by alternating periods of elation and depression. And let me just give you a prime example. At times, I feel like I'm on top of the world. When I'm feeling like that, I'm feeling great. But when I drop, that's the worst feeling that you can ever have. And most of the time, when a person drops that low, 95% of the time, that's when they commit suicide or do something irrational. Also, I have been diagnosed as having anxiety. And anxiety is a disorder, worry or fear or paranoia. Sometimes I have racing thoughts. Sometimes I can't, my mind be going so, so many ideas, my mind be racing so fast that my mind can't even think up, my brain can't even keep up. And most of the time, it's true. Sometimes we feel paranoid, but we don't have anything to feel paranoid about. I also like to talk about, I also been diagnosed as post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm going to give you a little definition. And it's a condition of persistent mental and emotional stress occurring during a result of injury, severe psychological shock, typically involving disturbance and constant recall of the experience. Just share with you a little. Let me just give you an example. Sometimes when I lie down at night and when I dream, I have the same dream over and over and over. I have the dream about a failed marriage and retaliation from a job. I cannot get away from that dream. I dream about it over and over and over. And I used to tell people, when the doctor first diagnosed me as PTSD, I told the doctor I'd never been in the military. It's more than just the military. A lot of people suffer from PTSD. And PTSD is nothing but just a traumatic experience it's kind of hard to get over. The healing begins when you first admit. The more the healing begins is when we first share it with someone. Whether it be a friend, doctor, pastor, someone truly you trust, if you find this hard to do, go somewhere and cry to release the pain. I heard someone say, God created the tear ducts for you to release the pain. Also do some type of physical exercise. Get plenty of rest. Change your eating habit. Maybe that make you feel a little better. It made me feel a little better. And you'll be amazed how you feel on the inside. If this doesn't work, you might want to visit a doctor. And just because you visit a doctor, a psychiatrist doesn't equate that, they can put you on medication. That's not always true. Sometimes therapy can help it out. And then if they do put you on medication, sometimes they'll administer a low doses of medication. If they don't administer a low dose of medication, you need to find a doctor that you can truly trust. You got to have a doctor-patient relationship. If you're not feeling good, tell the doctor. The doctor might increase your medication, and sometimes the doctor decrease your medication. But if you keep everything on the inside, the doctor's not going to know. And I'm aware that some physicians administer medication first instead of, referring you to counseling. But as a patient, like I said, you have to take control of your health. Let me talk a little bit about my childhood, trying not to go over the time limit. I was, when I started feeling this way, I was like 6 years old. I always bore a smile on my face all the time. Whether I was feeling bad or not, I always, I just have a natural smile. I used to go to, I used to feel so sad on the inside, but I didn't have anything to feel sad about. I grew up with great-grandparents and aunts and uncles. I had food on the table every day, even though I really didn't like to eat, skinny kid. I had a little money in my pocket. I used to go sell bottles and cut grass. I had all of that. I wasn't raped or molested. I didn't have any of that. So why did I suffer from mental illness? I don't know. But when I became a middle-aged adult, somewhere around 8th, 9th grade, I was playing sports. And I couldn't remember my plays. I couldn't articulate my thoughts. I didn't know what was going on. Really, I thought I was dumb. Because I couldn't I made pretty good grades. But I thought I was dumb because I couldn't articulate anything. Just being nervous is not it. If you continue to have the state of mind all the time, being, feeling nervous and feeling paranoid all the time, something is wrong. So when I was in high school, I said about 11th grade, I went to the doctor, and my grandmother used to accompany me to the doctor. And this particular day, I asked her, could I go back in the examining room for myself? I want to talk to the doctor. At this particular age, I kind of almost figured out what was going on. But once you get that lady, you hear everybody in the community talking about it, then all of a sudden you kind of shut down. So when my doctor told me that he think I was suffering from depression, and I might go see a psychiatrist, I shut down. I didn't want to hear it. When I said shut down, I shut down. I made sure, even if you was a mind reader, you couldn't read my mind, because I wouldn't allow you to go that far. Later on in life, I will regret not going to the doctor. Then I went off to college. And, I was in so much pain. Like I said, I bore a smile on my face. I never really got into drinking, drugs, and that nature. But, I began to hurt so bad, trying. You know what? It takes a lot of energy to try to put on that front. I tried to put on that front to the point I couldn't do it anymore. That's when I started drinking. Then all of a sudden, I started snorting cocaine. I couldn't get rid of the anxiety, the depression. I just thought I was going to lose my mind. When I tried marijuana, I tried it, but I had to stop because marijuana always made me paranoid. And that's something I had to give up. Then later on in life, I went on to college. After college, I went into the working field. I was not really wanting to go into it, but I'm a retired lieutenant from the Federal Bureau of Prisons after working 6 different institutions. And some of the inmates that was inside the prison, you know, they used to talk to me, but they didn't have a clue that I was feeling almost the same way they was feeling. But I kept it on the inside. And when I went to see, in 1999, I decided to go see a psychiatrist. But it was getting to the point, you know, my marriage was getting bad and getting to the point I was getting retaliated on the job. I just couldn't really take it anymore. I felt like taking people's lives. So I started to go get help. When I go to the doctor, you know, he administered me medication, stuff like that. And, you know, that was pretty cool. I felt a little better. And then, you know, a couple weeks later, I go back and, you know, he asked me, how you doing? I said, well, I'm not doing that well. And then he kind of like adjusts the medication to according to the way, you know, what I tell him. And to make a long story short, one day when I came in the office, one day he just said, look, how do you expect me to help you if you continue to go back into that same environment that's causing you the problems in the first place? And that was a profound statement, very profound statement. And when you start off with depression, sometimes depression can lead to bipolar. If you know you have a mental illness, you need to go ahead and take care of it right now. You need to talk to someone. You need to do something. Because, you know, first you have depression. And if you have depression for a long time, it manifests itself to sometimes you get bipolar. One time I stayed sad for a long period of my life, and then all of a sudden I used to be angry all the time. Didn't have any reason to be angry. I was just angry, just snap at people for no reason. Then all of a sudden it turned to, you know, bipolar anxiety. That's because, you know, for 45 years I was suffering from, I was 6 years old. I didn't start getting help. I found out I had, you know, depression. I was like 17 years old. I didn't go get any help until I was like 30, 35 years old. So I suffered and masked that pain for a long period of time. But in conclusion, later on in life, I would find out that my mother had suffered from mental illness, something I didn't know about. I often think about what if I didn't suffer from mental illness, what type of person I would be. Would I have made better decisions in life? I often think about my illness. Would I have been a better student, a better athlete? Would I have indulged in drugs or alcohol for self-medication? Would I have been a better father, brother, uncle, husband, son, grandson, nephew, a better friend? I do know one thing. If I would have gotten help early in life rather than being ashamed, I don't think I'd be on medication now, but I do have to take medication. And I'm not ashamed to take medication. I don't have any problem with that. Matter of fact, you know, I hate taking this particular medication right here. It's my inhaler. I was born with asthma, so therefore, you know, I have to use this to breathe. It's like some people take shots, some people take insulin. You know, you have to have something to live. So why not take medication if the doctor administers medication, you know, for mental illness? And I'm a firm believer that a lot of our kids are suffering from mental illness. And that's why they commit the crime that they do. No one noticed that. A lot of people don't notice that. Well, first thing you say, the kid is bad, the kid is this. There are women and men being promiscuous because of the lack of self-esteem. The only thing I know is you owe it to yourself to get help. If not for yourself, your family and friends, because the decisions you make can be the downfall for someone else. And the reason I share my story and will continue to share my story is because I learned it's not about Garry Jones. It's about allowing God to work through Garry Jones to be able to help you all. I'm a man still standing and refuse to be defeated. And of course, I still suffer from these conditions. But when I'm knocked down, still I rise. When I feel as though if I can't go anymore, still I rise. When I feel like crying, still I rise. When I feel like just killing myself, still I rise. But I rise to see another day to share my story. Thank you for listening.
Very well. Let's give him another round of applause for Lieutenant Jones.